Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about being and doing. Can actually Let me start with this. There are two things that's very important in humankind, which is being. That's who you are, and there's doing. This being does something every day. We breathe, we eat, we go to restroom. On top of it, we buy things, we work, we study. There are many doings associating with this being. However, my question to you today is, can your doing make you happier? Or, if you're unhappy, can you actually become happier by doing certain things? The simple answer is no. We think we do a lot of things to make ourselves happy. The catchphrase of marketing will say be yourself, and make you to buy things. Does it really truly make us happy? Yeah, very very short for a while that makes us happy, but actually that behavior, that feeling, none of that relates to your being. Being is very associated and very close to this to this doing. However, it is a very different concept. In order to become happier, in order to become aware of who you are, what can we do to become happier, or be content, be satisfied with the uh, with our being, with our life. A lot of people's desire or motivation to become better is usually, lack of certain things. If you didn't have money as a child, throughout your life, you're going to try to make money more than other people. Uh, Actually, that becomes a problem eventually, because at the beginning, you'll be happier because you have a little bit more money, but that being, as I said, is not associated with that, that well. So your being becomes less happier inside, less happier inside, less happier inside, because you thought you were accomplishing, or making something to come true, but in reality, that being is actually not being taken care of, not being satisfied of that that existence itself. So how can we make this understanding into our own life? Stop doing things, stop buying things. Don't deceive yourself. So I was on a call, so I couldn't continue with this idea. However, the concept of making yourself better, or actually becoming satisfied with your life, or fully content, become fully happier with your life. uh, my my suggestion to you is stop buying things, stop doing things. It's gonna get you nowhere. How can we then become better with our lives, become more happier with our lives? It's about understanding who you are, how you were created, the purpose of your life. Those same things that you said, oh, that BS, you know that doesn't really relate to me, actually is your solution. If you understand who you are, and you don't have to compete with other people, you don't have to buy things to make yourself happy. It's a it's a very simple concept. It's not complicated at all. uh, we make it complicated, but it's not. So in order to become happier, knowing who you are is very important. But do we constantly search for that, answer? Actually, we don't. We always do things, and it's one of the things that you might want to ask yourself. When was I most happy? When was I, most satisfied throughout your life? Think about your childhood. If you look into that, then you will start to understand, that life that you have, as the being, that who you are, actually enjoy certain things that you don't do anymore. A lot of things, you are happy, you don't do as a grown up. So, but instead, we do other things to, compensate, that lack of satisfaction. So, if you like drawing, if you like reading books, if you like many other things, but you stop doing that, as you become older, as you have more responsibility in society, or as your lack of that happiness, lack of that satisfaction, you're trying to compensate that with the cars, the expensive stuffs, and then have a higher authority than other people. So, that being said, let me go to my intention of this video. The intention of this video is to make you understand that you have to understand, who you were as a child, and most likely that's who you are now, still inside, So, try to connect with that feelings, connect with that idea, connect with, things that make you happier, and, make yourself available to those things. However, on top of it, I want you to do one thing. Now, I'm telling you another doing, but this is very important. Write down everything that you like. Write down every dissatisfaction or unhappiness or situations that write down all that very complicated feelings and minds and situations, good and bad, and write it down and try to distinguish with the very thick line in the in between, and then separate them. Then you start understand who you are. However, on top of it, I want you to understand you were created with a purpose in your life. I'm not saying going to the moon like somebody's saying. Going to the Mars like somebody's saying that's the purpose of life. No, even Elon Musk gonna deny that. That is a goal. It's not, your dream. It's not, something of a purpose. Purpose is very different. Purpose satisfies that, being. And purpose of your life actually, creates this amazing relationship with the people around you, so that becomes that actual foundation of your relationship as an adult. This is going to be very important. So how do you find purpose? Purpose comes from knowing who you are, right? As I said before. So knowing who you are, a lot of this, new, era ideas, actually, take you away from that, that original idea. But you were created. That is who you are. You were created by God. This being, who cares about you and who loves you. And he wants to have that relationship with you. But all this studies and all this ideas cut out that God part. And you don't know who you are anymore, because you are derived out of monkey. You are derived out of this nothing. This evolution, unscientific evolution theory is gonna give you no purpose in your life at all. So knowing who you are as a created being, and then search into all this different Bible ideas, leading into that, you're start understanding, oh, your perception of your life is actually very far away from my purpose, actual purpose. That's why you're unhappy. That's why. That is the only actual reason why you are unhappy. You're away from your Father, and you're away from actual purpose of your life. So whatever you do, not going to satisfy you, make you happy, or you become very content with your life. So this wheelchair that I have, that I'm on, is something that I do, right? Something that I have to carry all the time. Does this make me happy? No. But understanding the purpose of this disability, gives me full understanding of who I am. So I'll check you guys later, with another content later, right? But let's talk about this in the future. Have a wonderful day.